Hang on, you said?
Nope, you're good.
We're good? Okay. Ms. Voss for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, I should have introduced the meeting before we did that, but let me introduce the meeting now that I forgot to do that. Welcome. This is the regularly scheduled meeting of the Planning Commission. Today's date is December 7th, and we are starting our meeting at 6:31. So we've had the Pledge of Allegiance. I will ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Thank you, Andy, and thank you, Sherman. There is one item that I have via Barbara that we should discuss, and if anybody else has any discussion items, we can make those changes now. And that is, we have an item for under old business, continued review of the list of property owners. Barbara says that nothing much has changed. It's just the regular list that we saw last time, and recommended that we postpone that, any further discussion on that until our next meeting, which will be January 4th. Is that right, Bill?
Yes.
So if that's okay with the membership, then I would ask for a slight amendment to the agenda.
Yeah, so amended.
And I'll second the amendment.
Okay, thank you both. Any further discussion about this evening's agenda? Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries unanimously. Okay, public comment. I noticed that the Hubbards are present, but no one else from the public happens to be here. Do either of you have any comments that you would like to address to the Planning Commission before moving into the main purpose for why you're here? No public comment. Okay, that takes us down to the new business, the subdivision application review with Ed Hubbard. Let everybody get their plats unfolded, and then we'll move on and go through our subdivision request. That's not it. I don't think. Sheet 2. All right. Is everyone oriented? Ted, if you want to just say a few words, orienting us to the request.
Excuse me, what sheet are you gonna
Oop, hang
Okay,
on.
that's the same. We
Yeah,
were
that's
working off the same one. All right.
Yeah, though it was a second sheet. I'm not sure exactly why I have a second one.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So it's 2 acres that I want to cut out of my 190 plus acres.
2 acres out of 190?
Yes.
Okay.
Propose to put a house on there and give that 2 acres to my son as a wedding present.
Okay,
Use the existing right of ways that we've used for years. Upgrade them a little bit.
Hey, Ted, I don't see I don't know, the next view out, so to speak, you know what I mean? You know, you see the print we have here with the leach field on it and everything? But, I mean, I'm not seeing where the right of way comes in from the road on this.
The top right corner, sir.
Pardon?
On the top right corner, there's a smaller.
Yeah,
map.
that small map, but that really,
Oh,
Can't find it on the detail.
yeah, there's no detail on it. But so, but there's a deeded right of way through
Yes.
there to that.
yes, my house I live in now is on Hubbard Lane Place.
Right.
And that's a deeded right away for my brother and I right now.
Okay, oh,
That's
okay,
out to Cold River Road.
yeah.
And then he's gonna have an access off that road too.
So this is gonna be down the hill from the two houses that exist
Yes.
up there,
Yes, Andy.
just up behind that new barn you built. With the, what, the,
Yes.
what is it,
Quanzai.
okay, now I got it, thank you.
Hey, Bill, just a point of clarification. Does Howard have access to this?
Maps, no.
No.
So is that right away along the stone wall, the one going south here?
It's going east and west. Oh, and then down across the bottom of it, north and south, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a stone wall going up the driveway, and then if he takes his left, there's a stone wall there. He takes his right, there's another stone wall there.
So is the only road the one on the western end of the plat that says Belco on it, or no? That's not a road, that's an easement, right?
Oh, that's just, right, yeah, that's, yes.
Okay. So I know that we have Cold River Road at the end of the property, but I don't see that represented on your plat.
No. In that little square up top.
Yeah, no, I see it there.
It doesn't go that far. The plaque doesn't go as far down as Cold River Road.
But is this all mapped on here or no?
No,
It's just this?
this whole thing is
Yeah, he's got it.
that little X essentially up in here. You're
Oh,
coming
okay.
in,
Yeah,
coming in, the trash facility is.
is over here. Yep,
And then there's a couple of houses up here, up on the hill.
Yep.
And so they're coming in that Hubbard Lane place is is to the right of their.
yeah, I mean, I know I've been up there before.
Yeah.
I was trying to get oriented on the map.
Mhm.
So,
The map just provides
this
a
only
really
the
good detail
acres?
of the actual
Yes,
lot
yes.
itself.
I'm sorry, Andy. I heard your answer, Ted. What was your question or observation?
No, it's a very good detail of the actual 2 acre subdivision, but
Right,
this is just a little harder to
Right, the-
follow because the scale is so small.
right, because the outlined area, the Hubbard lands or lands of Hubbard, that's the 190.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, now I'm getting oriented. I think somebody said this earlier. But it took my mind a minute to catch up to getting a visual from here. Now I understand. Okay.
Actually, here's the better one right here.
Yeah, we have,
This one right there. I mean, you get a
Yeah.
much better.
I have that
Idea
one. I have that
of
on here.
picture.
This one I have in color. Thanks, Andy.
November of last year. That was the date I have. That's why I couldn't figure out how to find them. And we had runners because the recent, but no, they had a date in November of last year. So
So Andy, help me
that's what we
orient
went with.
myself. What are we looking at?
And the date on them is April 9 of 21.
There's
Eight at the
Cold
bottom.
River Road.
Yeah, right.
There's the
Been a work
trash
in
facility.
progress.
Yeah.
There's the existing 2 houses I was talking about.
Yep.
And this is.
That's the
This-
undeveloped land. That's where the
Yeah.
2 acres. are
Ted,
coming
would you come up here just,
Sure.
would you mind? Just. To make sure we got it right.
from. But there's more than 2 acres here.
Okay.
There's gotta
So-
be, because the whole thing is,
Here's the trash facility, right?
Yep.
There's your 2 houses.
Yes.
And
Right.
this is the plat?
Oh, it's right here in this corner. He's gonna come
This
across.
is- this is-
This stone wall.
got it. This is much more than 2 acres.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's 7.
This is 7
Five
acres?
and a half, 7.
Okay.
That's a hayfield. He's gonna be right in this top corner. right where them pile of rocks are, right there.
Okay. And it's going to, is it gonna be contiguous to this area, this?
To my 2 acres?
Yeah, is it gonna
It's gonna be
border?
touching my 2 acres, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so now where's
This is the drive, this is the Hubbard Lane.
Lane, right?
He's gonna come across here and up to here.
Okay, so what are you giving him here? An easement through here?
Yes, yes.
Okay, but that's not shown here.
Yeah,
Easement exists for some other property, but not.
Or does it exist already?
Yes, yeah, there's a road there already.
But I mean, it's deeded easement.
Yes, it will be.
Okay,
hey, Bill, do we have a plat of the entire property? No.
No.
So we don't have a representation of where that easement currently is.
I don't have anything tonight that would show that.
Do we have anything on file that shows that? Okay,
That's a whole different research project.
but from a procedural standpoint, don't we need to be able to see that? Or no?
just to clarify for
On the
me,
plot.
this point right here, this is the, right, this is the
Yes.
southwest corner.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I'd say that's right here.
Oh, it's right there.
Yes.
So there's another parcel in here.
No, that would be his parcel. Right.
You mean these? No.
Subdivide. This is my 2 acres and my personal
What
house
they
right
provided
here.
is.
That's to this line there,
Yes,
right?
yes. Over 2 acres off that.
You're talking about
So
the
this
visual?
cor- This
Well,
corner,
actually, you're right. This corner is right here.
Yeah. this corner is where my pen is, right?
Yes.
Okay, and so this line and here are roughly,
Oh, no,
This
wait a
is-
minute. No. This is the house. This is the leach field. This corner is right here. This is
Okay.
leach field.
you know what? We've got north going this way.
Yeah, this is north
That's
here.
north. Yep.
North,
North here.
and on here, north is going
This way,
this way.
because that's east-west, so that's north going that way.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna put a note. The north is here. Just so that we get the right orientation.
So now, where is that corner?
That corner is gonna be,
It's right here?
no.
No.
No, it's gonna be over here. This is leach fields right here. Oh,
Okay,
actually, it's down here. It's down here more.
yeah,
So it's off this,
Now, that doesn't,
it's off the picture that we have.
Yes, it's off
Yeah.
this picture.
It's off the picture and
okay.
where is the, I'm sorry, where's,
we can't see the land on here. It's off the map.
I just took that as a screenshot.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't something they provided us. in the
Okay,
packet.
that's what you
I-
provided.
So
So it's up here. off of
it's
the-
this parcel right here.
No, it's not.
No,
No, it's over here where your thumb is.
Okay, that was not the impression that I got from.
From this?
no.
Yeah.
Smaller field, no.
Yeah, you know what? I think we gotta have a more detailed plot, you know what I'm
So what-
saying?
What are the other
With,
sheets? So-
just show that it shows what's on there in this scale here, it's just
Right.
gotta be blown up.
Yeah.
So that we can see so that we can see the right of ways, because
You
that's,
gave me
that's the
two,
only thing.
That's what they gave, that's what they provided me.
and
you know,
this
'cause we can't
has
possibly
nothing to
create
do,
a
this
landlocked-
this is a building.
Right. a piece of
Yeah.
property.
Design.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's so we get past that.
I think the plat needs to show, well, we'll go through the checklist.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then that will help guide our recommendation to the Hubbards about what they would need to bring back. So let me just jump ahead a little bit, Ted, just so that we get some of the logistics out of the way. There will be a formal hearing. The earliest that could be is January 4th. But you can ask us for whenever you think you'd be ready to have that hearing. And then at that point in time, we'll go over tonight all of the things that we need to be able to see. This is an opportunity for you to tell us what you're looking to do, which you already have done, the purpose, and then to give us the documentation that allows us to evaluate that and say, yes, we're all set, ready to go, or we need a little bit more feedback. Here are the things that we'd like you to look at. Okay? So what we're going to do right now is we'll go through your checklist. Because that is what you got from Bill. That was the application for the subdivision that you filled out. So we're gonna go through this item by item. to make sure that everything that we would need to vote on is present. Okay, we're not voting tonight. Tonight is an informational opportunity. So I'm just gonna go through these, because this is what we'll need to do when we have the official hearing. And correct me, Bill, if anything I say is erroneous, because
I will, for sure.
Barbara usually
Okay.
guides this process. But she's not here tonight. So I'm just gonna go through the box with the numbers 1 through 8. And we'll go through that in terms of making sure that we understand. So it says boundaries and area of contiguous property of owner. So I think that that's one of the things that Andy was talking about. With respect to this, we don't see if it's gonna abut Ted's senior property. We need to see that on the plat.
Yep.
Okay. Do you follow me, Ted and Teddy?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I think it's outlined right here, the 2 acres that we intended for me to have, and I don't believe it touches my dad's parcel. It says approximate boundary lines of existing house lot approved under permit EC 1-1417.
What's that permit?
That, I'm not sure, I just am reading it, but I'm pretty sure, I would imagine that would have been dad's subdivision that he got done, while while the farm was still in a trust.
That's not a permit number we would have issued.
Okay.
So
I don't know
Yeah.
nothing
Yep.
about this.
What
That's
what
just-
number was that, Teddy, that you were reading?
It says it was approved under permit number EC 1-147. And you can see there's like lines with dashes in it where my 2 acres we would like to have, and then this is the approximate boundary line.
I'm not seeing that on my,
I don't think that's
Mind
what
if I
they
show you?
have.
That's not what
So show. let's
you're
go
looking
find
for.
it.
yeah, absolutely, come on.
So that corner, that stone wall is right there.
Oh, well, here's the problem.
So there's like a weird
Hill house.
rectangle right here.
Yep.
That area photo, Bill? I believe.
Yeah,
What was
it's right
supposed to
here.
be the 2 acres, these dotted lines,
Yep.
and then this is part of dad's 2 acres over here.
Okay,
So I think there was like a
Oh,
50-foot right of way that was supposed to be intended to be left between the 2 lots, according to the surveyor.
So
this metal.
Okay.
We hired a gentleman for all this too, so I'm very unfamiliar with any of this process.
no,
before
that's
the
okay.
maps
That's
and
why
everything.
we
So
do
it's
this.
right here. Essentially, what we need is this, expand it a little bit
Okay,
into your, and with all these property lines and showing the easements coming in.
okay, we
And
can
then-
do that,
and
that's
this-
not hard.
So-
corner is right here.
Yeah, so there's,
Yep.
I mean, there's all sugar roads that it's like a,
Yep.
you know, a maze out there. You could wander around for days if you don't know where you're going, but so it all kind of is connected all along through. I'm just looking to, you know, hopefully have a driveway across there and up around the hayfield instead of straight through it. Or, I mean, if you know, Hubbard Lane theoretically continues, as you can see, unofficially, I guess. I
Is
don't-
this Hubbard Lane here?
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, and it goes, you can pick
Yeah.
a left or right, a straight or another right after that, of
Yeah,
course,
sure.
but, that's the general idea. So I'm judging on this looks, if that is a property boundary, I believe my 2 acres comes
Yeah.
just flush with this stone wall right here. like
And
I
that
said,
that would make sense
these little
because this,
dotted lines.
if this is the area, if this is the area between this property, your dad's property, and where this parcel is going to be carved out, that makes sense. And we've got that on here. I think, Bill, what would be helpful for the planning commission, and this is not a requirement that they have, but just for our orientation, if we could capture more,
Well, I printed that just based upon kind of what I was seeing off that. So I think
Thank you for doing
Yeah,
that. I probably
the-
could have brought something.
the-
to
Yeah.
make it a
because
little
when you
more clear.
file something new, you're gonna need to file a Mylar that shows this new parcel.
right?
And usually what we get is a representation of that Mylar.
Okay,
And what you got brought us were building plans.
okay,
So like a surveyor is gonna do a survey and drop like, here's what your, or an engineer's gonna drop Mylar and say, here's what your parcel's gonna look like. So on your deed, like there'll be a parcel
okay.
identification. What we have our building plans, which doesn't really show
That
what we're looking for.
parcel.
So I think this was dropped off, I think, is anticipation of it, but not actually the actual representation of what your property is gonna be, because we need to
Right.
see like what the property is gonna property parcel is gonna look like. And this doesn't really,
Well, I think this, oh, not to cut you off, sorry, but
No, it's
I
fine.
think that's what this border is proposed to be.
Okay.
250 feet by 250 feet.
But,
or 300 is roughly, I guess.
so Teddy, to Bill's point, usually does it say here that it's 2 acres? Okay. I just didn't-
This gentleman made this for me years ago. Bill's been more helpful than he has as far as getting places done.
And usually don't they indicate that this is part of 190 acres or something like that?
yeah, there's usually.
Which I think is,
Okay, 175 acres, okay, over here. And that goes,
well, it goes
All the way around,
between
right.
Fuchsia's and Bucks and the
Okay.
Aiken State Forest.
okay, so we have that, that's good. We know that this is 2 plus or minus acres. This shows the separation between, now,
My house and this
right,
Paul's property and my property.
okay, and this doesn't have to be
is
marked,
my-
or does it?
This is part of the farm. This is my personal house.
Right,
Yeah.
so this is part of the 175 acres,
Yes,
and this is separate.
yes.
So hey, oh, Bill left. My only question is whether this needs to be identified as its acreage, is it there?
Yeah, mine's
Well,
all.
it tells who owns it. So.
Right,
Say
but I
how-
mean,
how
don't we
much.
usually have an indication of what the acreage is? No? Yes?
No, I don't know.
It's on
Or
record.
not, I don't.
It's on record anyway.
It's a separate tax.
Yeah,
bill,
it's a
I
separate-
believe if that
It's
helps.
like 2.2 acres.
Don't we normally have a survey that
Yeah,
includes
that's it.
the
That's-
entire,
Yeah, we need.
That's what I was
the entire
going for
property?
from the very beginning.
All of the property, the 175 acres that, because that's what's being separated, that something's coming out of the 175 acres. So we need to see the 175 acres, the piece that's coming out
Okay.
on one.
So that's only going to be, that 2 acres is only gonna be 1%.
Here's the one you guys just approved as an example of.
Yeah. So this is what Sherman was just referencing. We are looking at this proposed subdivision line. So this is being carved out of this bigger property. And so as Sherman was saying, this entire area is identified. And where is the marking on here for the
So that says that's
Acreage.
5 acres there.
yes, 5 acre lot.
Which, so is this a similar scale map, but it's just, it's
No.
easier to fit 5 acres on it?
Scale is different, yeah.
Yeah.
Scales.
Scale is really different, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you may have to do 2 would probably be the easiest, 2 maps.
Well, what I was thinking is,
One in a much smaller scale, showing your
This.
piece of property.
and then the bigger
In
one,
relationship to the 175.
right?
And then
Okay.
this one is fine as far as showing,
the two acres.
then we can one on top of the other and then we got it.
Right.
Okay.
It's kind of like what you were doing for us over, yeah, here,
Okay.
except this doesn't show enough detail for the planning commission to give you feedback and make a determination.
And it's got to be scale.
It's gotta be, yeah.
Yeah, that's not scale.
So so these cost us like $5,000. I don't, just how official does it have to be to, for the
You
surveying?
gotta
and the-
follow,
and the-
file the Mylar,
Yeah.
so it's gotta be official. I mean, this part has to be, I'm not sure how the boundaries of the 175, right?
Hey, Bill?
Yep.
That's a Bill question.
Just not sure if it's something I can do.
Or it's a Howard question.
Howard, you should be here.
Hey, Howard, we're gonna bring you into the conversation because as the lister, we think that, or former lister, we think that you would have the expertise to answer this question. What we're looking at, and Howard's a little bit in the dark because he doesn't have any of these in front of him. So Howard, what we have is a set of, would you call those building plans? That has the outline of a 2 acre parcel. But it is, and it's marked relatively to scale and it's on a topograph. But it doesn't show the whole context in which the parcel is located. And Ted was saying that it's in the context of 190, 175 other acres with a neighboring property So he has the 175 acres in which it's contextualized, plus there are other parcels within those outside of those, carved out of those 175 acres, like yours.
Yes, they're in the center of it.
They're in the, right. So how much, the question is, how much of that has to be represented and to what scale for the planning commission to be able to make a determination that we can see rights of way and easements and anything else? Because Teddy's property is going to be up in the northeast
Yep.
section of the 175 acres. And there is a right of way that will be running from, is it the road?
So I have the
So
requirement.
from Cold River Road,
The requirements are pretty, it references something. So it says the sketch plan shall consist of a print or survey of the property on which shall be depicted or which shall be accompanied by the information set forth in Article 3, which is the requirements for the subdivision. That,
which is this.
nope, the
Oh.
next page.
That's what I meant. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's this document.
It's what
where
shall
we have
include
the-
that. So
right.
it's The sketch plan shall include that.
Okay, so
That's what it says.
yeah, so that would be that would be an expansion of this, right, Bill? That we
Yes.
currently have. That would be the sketch plan. And then that's not the Mylar. The Mylar has to be officially
The Mylar is the result
Of the-
of what we approve.
on the sketch
So,
plan.
so
right.
like we talk about the waiver, so maybe
Right.
we go with waivers, things like the trees, you
And
know.
we're gonna go over that in
Yeah.
just a minute, because I think that they need to have that feedback as well.
Yes.
So, okay, I guess Howard, you can chime in, but I jumped the gun in asking you the question since Bill had the reference for us.
No, I think what I'm seeing and hearing is that, so like 190 acre farm, he's gonna be cutting out 2 acres of it. Is that right? Take
That's right.
2 acre parcel. Well, somehow we're gonna need to see that 2 acre parcel with the bearings and distances and the pins and that should be surveyed and at least it should be somehow tied in to Hubbard Lane Place, to tied into something. Or the nearest property, either your property, Ted, or something to show the relation of it. We don't need to see the whole farm. But we need to see how it fits into, tie it into it. How do you get back to Hubbard Lane Place?
Well, that's part of the problem because the farm is so big that you can't fit it to scale and see how they want to plan the various well and septic and other things. If you take it, if you have that expanded on the sketch plan, then you can't see how it fits into the other 190 acres. So the question was, what does the planning commission need? Because this is a huge property that we're dealing with. This is a little unusual. We're usually talking about 10 acres or smaller. Well, maybe 20 acres or smaller. But so the question is, Bill just read the specs, and it seems like we need to be able to contextualize that, and maybe that doesn't need to be to scale. And then we need to be able to see any of the access roads that are running off of the proposed subdivision of 2 acres to the rest of the property. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it may, if it's a long distance, it may be something with a comment that says it's so many feet to Hubbard Lane Place or something, with just a broken
Yeah.
scale showing Hubbard Lane Place on one end and then the lot on the other, and to say that it's so many feet to get to Hubbard Lane Place,
Right.
somewhere just, he doesn't need, we certainly don't care about the whole farm.
How many feet it is from the property to get all the way, yeah, how long that road would be to get to Hubbard Lane Place, if that's where the easement begins.
Yeah.
So Howard, oh, you have that, Andy? I don't know, Howard, I don't think you've seen this. This is an aerial view. You can't see it. That's useless for me to hold that up.
Is that the one that we got in the email?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That came in the packet. Yeah, so you have that.
Okay, I've got it. In
So-
fact, I'm looking at it here and it's a situation where I'm not sure where the 2 acre lot is on that. I'm looking at it.
Okay,
right
so we can
now.
explain that to you. It's up in the northeast corner. So on the left, you should have Cold River Road. Is that right?
Let me see here.
Yeah, Cold River's over on the left,
Yeah.
right? So Cold River's on your left, north is up, and Hubbard Lane is on the south side. So Hubbard Lane runs west to east, so left to right at the bottom of your, well, I don't know if it's the bottom of your screen
How
or
does
not.
it print? I mean, depends on whether print this way or,
Right,
so he,
but
North is up. That's
you can rotate the map so that Cold River is on your left and Hubbard Lane is on the bottom, and then north would be opposite that. If that's the orientation that you have, the parcel is looking in the uppermost northeast corner, and it actually goes slightly off
Off that picture.
the map.
Off that picture.
So is it kind of is it above your house, Ted?
Yes.
You,
It's right in line with my house.
Yeah, it's a little below it.
right in line with it?
To the
Okay,
right.
okay.
It's off that corner of that top upper middle.
Is it gonna border your property line on the northerly property line?
No, Howard, there's a, I don't know how,
It's probably
Long.
50, 100 feet in between.
yeah, in
his property
between.
and mine.
So we have that on
But it's
the,
all on farm land.
technically
Yes, ma'am.
doesn't border his property.
no, they don't. They're not contiguous. They don't touch.
No.
There's a space in between. There's part of the farm.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay. Well. I would think a surveyor would have some idea as to what he would need to, how you need to make that map to show what's going on.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll have to get Tim back on it then.
Says it's a site plan, not really.
Yeah, that's what,
Yeah.
that's what Bill says.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what Bill was saying. Yeah, that we're gonna need a surveyed sketch plan, and then the Mylar will be built off of that. Okay,
The survey, they had touched base with Bill before he did anything,
that would be good.
then you'd have a better, you know,
Right.
everyone would be in sync,
Right.
at least a better chance being. in sync.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Howard, any other questions from you or any other observations?
No, I'm good with it. That's,
Okay.
I'm sure Ted will come
And
up with
so-
something.
What might also be helpful, when the Hubbards come back, is if we can take this aerial map that Bill sent out to us and expand it and maybe just do a little drawing about where that's going to be situated. That's just a visual representation of how things are connected. And that would allow the planning commission to see what we may not be able to piece together in our minds by looking at the sketch plan. Okay? All right, so let's go over the,
Remaining items on
the remaining items, yeah. I'm just gonna read through the application, those eight points, and then we'll go over to the waiver list. Okay? All right. Okay, so oops. I'll wait till you're done. That's okay.
I'm just trying to the ordinance. You're fine. I'm good.
You want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we're just gonna go through these because these are the questions that we'll be asking at the hearing.
Yeah.
Those are 1 through 8. On the first page, that's called form number 1, as opposed to form number 2 that you submitted. Do you want this back to look at it? Yeah, because we have a copy, so you can take here. And I can mark mine up and I can give that to you. We'll leave that one as it is for right now, but I have a copy here that I can mark up. Okay, so on Form 1, we're gonna go over the boundaries and area of contiguous property of the owner. That's what Howard and Bill were talking about, so we see how the property of the 190 acres fits in. We're also looking at boundaries and areas of the property to be subdivided. That's what's on this, site plan, which could be the sketch plan. Bill, so far, am I doing okay?
You are.
Okay, so on that sketch plan, that's where you want to situate the property to be subdivided from the other surrounding areas. And if we can show, as you have on here, that open space in between your property, that would be great too. So that looks pretty good. We just need to situate that in a bigger context. Okay. The proposed subdivision lines, those are on here, I think, already, but that you just need to make sure that those are on the, on the, subdivision, sketch plan. Okay, name and address, professional preparer, that was on here, need to have that again. Numerical and graphic scale of the plan, date, north arrow, that's on here already, so it just needs to be followed. Existing features and facilities, including roads, public utilities, and utility easements. Okay, so that's where you're gonna have to have the, right, the driver, put that on there and show how, where it's going to go to, even though you don't see the whole distance, then you can have an arrow or something. The surveyor will be able to put that on there, say how long this road goes. And then we'll pick that up on another visual so that we can get an understanding of that it all can't be shown to scale on the small map that you're giving us. But we will know how it connects. Utility easements, et cetera. Number 7, proposed improvements, including roads, utilities, or utility easements. So you're gonna have some kind of a road or driveway off of the property, right?
Yes.
So we'll need to see that marked, at least as far as it can go. Okay, and then rights of way, et cetera. And then the location map. All right? Great. So we're gonna move on to page 2, Form 2. And on Form 2, this is just basically a checklist of the things that we need to be able to see and what is going to be present. So in looking at number 1, identifying the title of the subdivision, and somebody circled a waiver. That's not usually something we can waive because you have to title it for record keeping purposes. So we have to call it something. So it could be Ted Jr.'s parcel or something like that. You can give it a name so that it can be identified from other parts of the property. Okay.
It's identified here. Ted Hubbard Jr. site plan.
Okay, right. But they're not asking for a waiver. So that's,
Change it to yes.
that should be yes, right.
Right, yeah, that was a error on my end.
That's okay. This is what we need to,
Why we do it.
that's why we're doing this now, so that we can go through the hearing much more efficiently. Okay, same thing, name of the municipality. It should say Rutland Town.
Those.
Yep, and it does say Rutland Town, so that's yes, that's on there. Name and address of the owner of record, and subdivider. So that should also be yes, but you have to make sure that it's on there. Name and professional credentials of the plat designer. Okay, so that's something you need to pay attention to. That's number 4.
It's on here.
Okay.
Action surveying.
Great. Boundary and area of contiguous total land. That's one that we have to expand on. That's what we were talking about previously. Okay. Number 6, date, true north, a point and scale. I think those are all on there, right? So that should also be yes.
Hey, Dana,
Okay.
Dana,
Yeah,
excuse me, on number 5, when it says boundaries and area of contiguous total land owned by the owner, I mean, that would be the whole farm, but we don't really need the whole farm. I mean, in a big, huge parcel like this, we don't need to see the whole farm. It's just gotta be.
right. But we need some type of a representation, right?
Yeah,
So it doesn't
yeah,
have to be the
exactly.
scale.
Exactly, yep.
So they probably want to request a waiver for that.
Sure,
They just need to be able to put that on, in the context, right? So I'll
Okay.
put on here, waiver and provide context. That will be a separate document from the, sketch plan. Right? Separate document. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna check these off. Number 7, identification of zoning districts. I think that's usually a waiver. We
yes,
don't have zoning districts, correct?
that's correct.
So
Yep.
that is usually a waiver. Okay. So I'm going to, yeah, I circled that. So what I'm doing here, Ted or Teddy, I'm making the list on here of what your answers could be or should be.
Okay, and you're
So,
gonna give us that
and you
list
can
then?
have it and we'll just make a copy for us so that we have it for next time.
Great.
And you could, if you're putting notes on there, that's fine, but this will be
Those been back.
your document. Number 8, proposed subdivision, lot lines with, bearings, distances. I think is that already on there? Yep. All right. So we're okay with that. So I'm checking that off. Streets, highways, easements, sidewalks, that's something, that we need to make sure is present. And that also needs to be in the context. So, I'm going to put a note on here. That they will be shown and ID'd on the larger sketch plan. Yep, on the larger context.
But there's
On
no,
larger
there's no streets and highways or easements nearby there, or sidewalks and alley. I mean, this is something that, to me, should be waived. I mean, there's,
Okay, so
That's
we can
all.
do that,
yeah. That's out in the middle of nowhere.
but they are gonna have to have an easement on the larger
Yeah,
separate document.
correct.
Yeah, right away. Okay, so I'll do that. That will be the same as number 5. Okay. So I'm gonna link the two of those with a red line.
Aren't we gonna have to go through the survey that, or the plat that comes back?
Right,
Answer these questions again,
right. But I'm
Okay,
doing this
okay.
so that they,
just so they know.
so that they know and they can make sure that all those things are in
Yeah.
place. We will go through this, but it would taking more time tonight than it should take at the meeting. When you come back, right? As long as everything's on there. On larger, context. Okay, number 10, building existing proposed. Yep, you have those on there. That's probably okay. Water courses existing and proposed. Are they on there? Are there any water? Is there any water on this
Like
Is it
brook or
proposed?
river?
book or anything?
No,
There's nothing? Okay.
not on that part.
Okay, so that will be okay. That will be shown. There's nothing. Okay, water course. None. Okay. So that's okay. Municipal and public utility easements. Rights of way, existing and proposed. There aren't any, are there?
Velco runs.
Oh, Velco. Okay,
runs
yep,
through the-
right. So you have to have Velco there. Okay,
How are
yep,
they
that's
gonna
right.
get-
That's on.
How do they get power to the house? They have to have an easement, perhaps, to bring power over, or?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
yes.
So that will be, okay, so Velco and power to house.
Yep.
Okay, that's number 12. Sewer, main and connections to municipal or community sewer system or on-site community or private sewage disposal. On-site is the septic, right? So I'm just gonna write septic. Okay, so that's good. And that's actually already on there. Water, number 14, water mains and connections to municipal water systems or on-site community and private water supplies lines, including sizes and elevation. Okay, same thing. That's a well, right? That's basically a well and that's on there. Okay, great. Drainage systems and connections to municipal community systems, including sizes. Is that also septic? No,
No.
that's drainage for any culverts. Do you have any culverts on the? No, okay. So there are none, all right. Parks and other open spaces existing and proposed. Okay, there are none, I don't think. None. Other essential features existing and proposed. I don't think there are any other essential features. Anybody have any comment about that?
No, I think that's fine what's here.
Yeah, what's there, that's what I would agree with that. Location of all, trees on site, outlines, of woods, open areas, and all other natural features. That's one we usually waive, Howard, I
Yes,
think, right?
Yes, exactly.
Normally,
Because they have 190 acres of woods and fields.
Right, yep.
I would ask them to identify every tree on there if they really wanted to. but-
yeah.
We'd have to number them.
I think I'm going to suggest that they apply for a waiver on that.
Yep.
You're welcome. Okay. So that's you'll take care of that. I've circled that as a waiver. That's number 18. Number 19, all information specified in provisions 9 through 18. Okay, that's the numbers over to the left side and coming over to the middle column on the right. And hereof and with respect to adjacent land of owner and with respect to adjacent land of others. Okay. So that's the distances. Right?
That's essentially the 100 feet outside of each one of these borders.
Okay, so I'll just put that
Supposed
on
to
it.
be,
100 feet
is
outside of
supposed to be
borders.
what any features are supposed to be shown
Borders.
for that
yep.
100 feet
On the borders of the parcel being
The-
subdivided.
of the subdivided portion,
Portion,
right?
yep.
The borders of the 2 acres.
Okay. So that's okay. Well, we'll make sure that that's okay. I'm gonna check that off, that that's what they need to pay attention to. Contour lines based on accurate ground surveys. I think that those are
Those are generally waived.
on there.
Just-
What's that? Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna check that off too. So those are listed. 21, I think that's where I'm at. Typical cross sections and profile of proposed grading, streets, highways, and sidewalks. There are no highways and sidewalks, so are we gonna waive that?
Yep, yep.
Or is that going to be part of there are no highways and sidewalks?
Does the right of way have to be included in that or not? I would think not.
It doesn't say so, so it says no. So we're gonna ask for a waiver on that.
I would say that, yes, waive it.
So that's number 21, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
22, if a private sewage disposal is required, it shall comply with 10 VSA 1973. That's the septic?
It's a state permit, yeah.
That's a state permit. Okay. So they just have to provide that, right?
You have to have it, yeah, before they build the house. Yeah. they're
Yeah.
gonna have it.
So you,
Get a state
Before you
permit
build your-
anyway.
Right.
I'm sorry?
They have to get a state
Howard?
permit for that, for the septic.
Yeah.
That's essentially what we have.
That's the second copy of what I provided you guys is actually my septic designs, I think. I don't.
Oh, is that this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even
Okay.
know.
Yep, I wasn't looking at that. Okay.
They will later. Okay,
Yeah, we'll look at it at the next meeting,
okay, cool.
but thank you. Number 23, preliminary design of any bridges or culverts.
Nothing.
So there are no designs. Okay, none. All right.
Waive that or?
Well, there aren't any proposed. Which may be designed.
Wait, but it's just not gonna be there.
It's not gonna be there, right? So number 23 is none. So we can say yes, there are none. 24, all parcels of land proposed to be dedicated to public use and the condition of such. So that's also none. Right? So that's there. Yep. 24. And 25, requested waivers, variances, and the reasons therefore. So we are requesting waivers, so that's a yes. And I have put
They're-
the
they're
notes,
requesting the waiver.
yes. Did I say we?
Yes.
I guess that was a royal we, since I'm sitting up here with the pen. They're requesting the waiver, right? So they just need to, I've written on here, basically, the information you'll need to request those. For each one that we have, you're requesting a waiver. We just need to have a small statement as to why you're requesting the waiver. Okay? All right. And Bill can certainly help you with any of these questions. Okay, is that it? Oh, no,
January
26th. Hang on. We got to flip over. There are another few questions. So, oh, the final subdivision, yeah, plat. So this is what they're coming because this is a minor subdivision. So this is the
Yes.
final one.
Yeah.
So we have to do
As
these
long as
extra.
everything's right, it'll be the final plat.
Right. So that's why we'll go through these next 5 or 6. Number 26, all parallels of land proposed to be dedicated to public use and or conditions. So there are none, right?
No, correct.
So that's okay. And you can write none on there on your, well, actually that's on ours. Never mind.
Well, actually, it gets a yes.
I have a yes.
Yeah.
Because of a none, right. The length of all straight lines and deflection angles, radii, length of curves, tangent distances, and tangent bearings of each street. Well, there are no streets. Right?
There's no streets. So it's-
So we say yes, and there are none. Lots with the subdivision numbered in numerical order and containing the area of each lot indicated in square feet. That's already on there, I think, so we're good. Number 29, permanent reference for monuments shown. There are no monuments on there. Any other?
There's landmarks on there, on the plans.
Okay,
No, what's
I don't know
what's
if
your
that's-
surveyor got for your corner boundaries? Pins?
Yes.
No, there's,
I think those are the
there's
monuments.
actually a. rock
those are the
on
monuments.
there.
Okay, I'm gonna write that on. Okay, so survey pins.
This
Yeah.
particular boulder, and then there's one along the side of the driveway too, I think we used as a marker or as a bench plate or something like
The
that.
surveyor will put in.
Yeah, he should, he
Okay, the survey,
fills in the,
That's it.
what kind of monuments you have and.
and I wrote it on here, so
whether-
it should be
whether
survey.
iron Pins or whatever.
Okay, it says benchmark northeast corner of flat boulder elevation.
That could be, yeah.
Okay,
All right.
The surveyor will identify what they use, usually something that's more permanent, but
Yeah, a lot corner marker, this is 29A, shown thus, O, they shall be of metal, at least 3/4 inch in diameter. So that's the same as 29. It's just an expansion of what 29 is saying. So it should say yes. So you have to just make sure that those survey pins are there and that the other descriptions are represented. Monuments which shall be set at all corners and angle points of the boundaries in the subdivision. Monuments required by the town specifications for new roads and all street intersections, etc. Okay, so those should all be yes. Just make sure that they're on the plat. On this, well, actually, yeah, on the plat. Okay. Any questions? We went through that pretty quickly, but
You said January 4th.
January 4th is the next time that we meet, so that would be the earliest we could have you come back. But you can let us know, you can let Bill know
Right.
whether that's reasonable or whether you'd like to do January 25th, which would be the second meeting in January,
It's probably gonna take a little longer than that to get all this together.
probably.
that should.
We don't have any requirement for you to come back on January 4th. That's just the earliest that we could do it. Okay, and so the other two meetings after that are January 25th and February February 15th, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
First, 8th, 15th. Okay, so we're gonna make a copy of this and we'll give you the original that I just marked up, okay? And Bill, was that the original that I had?
I think I had
From them?
about-
If we can just, if you can, I gave him I was just marking up my copy. I gave him the one that you had placed on my desk.
Okay.
Okay, while Bill's doing that, any other questions or comments for us?
Oh, not at the moment. I think we got some work to do.
Okay, was this helpful?
Yes.
Very much so. Appreciate your guys' time and really walking us through it. Like I said, I've never done
That's why we have people come and ask questions and see how things are shaping up for you. So that when you're ready for, when the hearing comes, there aren't any surprises and you know exactly what is supposed to be there rather than sending you off blindly to go through the process. So. So Ted, you can connect with Bill about what your timeline is looking like.
Yes.
And we just need to know a week or 10 days before if you're gonna make that. Otherwise, we'll postpone that to a future meeting.
So if I don't call you a week before the next meeting, 10 days.
Yeah, we won't put you on, right? And Bill, I think we need the original one that Ted and Ted have. And you know what? This isn't, oh, this is, yeah.
Probably gonna be redoing this, so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll redo it? Okay,
yeah.
that's fine.
That makes the most sense. So, yeah, we can hang on that. If you use what you just learned to.
Right. Well,
Just give us, just
just doctored
be
up
easier to
one
give us,
out.
it'd be easier to give us a new one and.
The right
Yeah.
sample. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, the one that I put all the comments on, you can use to create your own new one.
Right.
You got another new one there?
No,
Bill can get you one. Yeah.
we're both getting this exercise with us tonight.
All right, guys, thank you.
Is that
Yeah.
all you need us for?
Yeah, he's gonna give you that, but we're all set. That way you can put all of the information in clean copy.
Right, it'll be
On a
much
new
more
application.
presentable for you guys and,
Right.
would you like me
Let's
to make
continue.
6 copies when I do it the right way this time or? will-
Not for the application. Bill will take care
Bill
of
let
that.
him know.
Okay.
Yeah, we just need extra copies of whatever you're going to bring back in terms of
Our
the
final.
sketch plan. Yeah,
Excellent. Thank you, gentlemen.
you're welcome.
Appreciate it very
Good
much.
night.
Thank you.
Have a great night. Don't forget to get that copy from Bill. Okay, well, Bill's off. I think we can move forward a little bit with the agenda. And so we've already discussed moving the old business of the review of the property for the river corridor to the January 4th meeting. Are there any announcements?
I was going to Will Barbara as to where we stand on the short-term rental ordinance and where we stand on the Pocket Park.
So my understanding to that question is that that wasn't brought up at the last select board meeting.
Okay.
So there would be no update. Barbara did give me enough information, but you can check with Bill in case my understanding is erroneous. But there were very few updates. The biggest thing was that we had at this meeting, she had updated the select board that we had under new business, the subdivision proposal. Bill, am I missing anything? There was nothing at the last select board meeting that was pertinent to the planning commission, correct? Okay, and so we don't have any announcements except that now that we've changed our date, that the schedule for 2024 will be set with the first Thursday of January being the first of our meetings every 3 weeks.
Okay, question here, if I can just, is this form, our planning commission form, Bill, to your knowledge, does this have to comply to the state or is this us?
This lines up with our subdivision regulations.
Right, no, I mean, the way that the question's worded, yes, no, or waiver.
It's worded that way in the ordinance.
Yeah,
That's how it's worded.
I was gonna say, it's too bad we can't have a not applicable. Because in a lot of these, that's more the correct
I
answer
thought-
than anything, is not applicable, rather than yes,
Well-
no, or
Yes.
waiver.
So I think if I may, I think this is on Barbara's future list and the select board has made reference to this, that we have been given the theoretical go-ahead to revise our subdivision ordinance.
We're waiting for our attorney to review it.
That's right. So as soon as that is completed, we could change the form.
This would be the next step.
This would be the next step.
My,
Good.
my interpretation of waived could be not applicable. I mean, if something is,
When someone asks for a waiver, the way right now, when we do a warning for a subdivision, I have to list every item they're asking to be waived.
And there has to be an explanation for it.
But
oh,
No.
okay.
Something that
I
doesn't
understand.
exist
Oh, okay.
I understand
doesn't
what you're
really
saying.
need to be
Warning,
waived,
so
right?
if they request a waiver of 10 items, we have to list the 10 things that are requesting waiver for in the warning.
In the warning, okay,
Okay.
yep.
So
Alright.
if it could be, so I don't, that may be, I may have to stay like that, but if it's like, there's no water courses, we're requesting a waiver, don't request a waiver, it's not being shown because they're not there, so it's a no. So, but like when it comes to the trees, that's a waiver, so, yeah.
But right now, this document is based on the
Ordinance.
old,
The current,
well, the one that has not been proposed for
Right.
implementation.
right,
Right. So what we have, the work we've already done is not necessarily in full alignment with these questions.
the work we have done is not in alignment with those questions, because that refers to zoning, we've taken that out of the update.
Right.
But I haven't even looked at those to try and update them, because I don't want to take the time until I hear back from Kevin, so.
Right. So in order for us to update this, we have to have
that
a
done.
new set of,
Yeah, because you really have to understand, have to fully understand this if you're looking at it to see if they've met the requirements.
that are in the
A
subdivision.
no sometimes means not applicable, and sometimes it means I didn't do it. So
Right.
you have to know what the details behind the question.
But there are
Okay.
changes in our subdivision ordinance that we don't actually control any longer. And so either those questions can be removed or it can be put as not applicable. It may be a state requirement and then, you know,
Right, there's things I think it refers to in there that were important and that we had authority over when these were created.
and we could change the thing about the trees. Because we tend to waive that all the time. Right. But I think that once that is approved by the attorney and the select board, we could go ahead and change our forms a little bit. I'm sure you're excited
We're
about
gonna
that.
be, we're a ways away from that.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so no further announcements. Let us move on to the minutes of November 16th, 2023. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
Motion to accept the minutes.
I was not there, so I will.
Oh, okay.
All of
Okay, so that is, oh no. That means that we have to postpone these minutes until
Yeah.
the next meeting. Okay, so there's no quorum. No quorum at this meeting.
Did I hear Andy withdraw his motion? I think I did. didn't I?
I'll rescind my motion.
Withdrawn. Mhm.
Record.
No quorum at this meeting from attendees on 11/16. Okay. So those will be postponed until January 4th. All right. Any other business to come before the commission this evening? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
Okay,
Second.
thank you, Sherman. Thank you,
Andy.
Andy. All right, we're officially adjourned.
We missed you, Howard.
And I missed you too. It's just a last moment thing. I was planning on coming.